Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottled cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight on FBC News, Archbishop Emeritus Petero Matava laid to rest. FLP holds rally in Nasinu. And Fiji-based call centre wins international award. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and this is FBC News. Archbishop Emeritus Father Petero Matava has been laid to rest at the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Suva. His body now lies in a tomb at a newly built crypt underneath the cathedral. Chanel Sivan reports.
Around 1,000 people gathered to be part of the funeral service. People packed the grounds of the church, footpaths and the streets. Bishops from around the region were amongst the guests invited to the service.
We know that you told some members in one summit that you wanted to do but you not to. But let me be content that you have done well in this work.
Archbishop Peter Loichong in his eulogy shared one of his private moments with Matava, where the late Archbishop said he was concerned about the church. His background reads of a man who dedicated his life to the church and to the people. More than 40 years as the head of the Catholic Church, the late Archbishop Matava was also an advocate for the rule of law.
Your work is from advocate of social justice and development of people. After the 1987 truce, you courageously condemned the truce as an illegal attack on constitutional democracy.
Even as far back as 1987, he was a champion of equal citizenry and political representation.
You suggested that an electoral system based on the common law would better serve the cause of national unity and peace than the Commonwealth-based system.
The funeral service was attended by President Ratu Ipeli Nailatikau, the Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama, members of Cabinet and the Diplomatic Corps. The Archbishop Emeritus, who was also the first Fijian to lead the Catholic Church, now rests in a crypt beneath the church. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The Fiji Labour Party held a campaign meeting in Narera Nasinu last night. Although the party manifesto hasn't been released, FLP representatives spoke on a number of issues which are likely to be part of the document. Savara Tamboa has more.
Fiji Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry and President Lavinia Padarath spoke to a community made up largely of families who've migrated to Nasinu from Vanuatu. Chaudhry spoke at length about covering social and economic issues. He told the gathering education, health, housing and employment are vital to the FLP's policies. Lavinia Padarath says the Labour Party policy is to reverse the privatization of the Water Authority of Fiji and the Fiji Electricity Authority.
Electricity and water, in our view, should not have been privatized, but it's a responsibility of any government as part of being able to look after its people.
While speaking in Hindi, Chaudhry also confirmed the FLP has decided to form a coalition with the Social Democratic Liberal Party after the election in order to form government. Another Labour Party rally will be held in Telebu North next week. Sapira Tambua, FBC News.
Alleged drug trafficker Rajen Prasad Charan's bail has been granted by the Suva High Court. It's alleged Charan imported methamphetamine from the United States, concealed in a chocolate cookie box. His lawyer today told Judge Justice Alessi Temo that the name on the box was not of his client. The name on the box was Rajen Prasad. He argued that his client's name on his birth certificate is Rajen Prasad Charan. He told the court that his client denied the box was his and refused to take the box, as he also did not know the sender. The case will be called again next month. An academic from Fiji says mobilizing the significant youth vote will be a major goal for political parties in the upcoming election. Speaking at a conference at the Australian National University, USP academic Romitesh Kant said, 8 years on from the last election, a large block of people who have never voted before has been created. According to Radio New Zealand International, Kant says this group is very attractive for parties, but making youth interested in becoming active participants in the democratic process will be challenging. More than 172,000 people between the ages of 18 to 30 have registered to vote so far for the September 17th elections. Still to come on FBC News, new stove to make life easier for rural women.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
Deke me lala, kai me hi. Tangi tau po me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bon julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A task force will monitor the price of goods which are under concessions. Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority CEO Chitoko Tikolevu says the benefits from the concessions need to trickle down to the consumers.
Get the documentation, the import, the SIDs that are there, get the importers they bring to customs for verification of duties, payment of duty wherever appropriate. These are the essential fundamental documents that will be used for verification purposes.
The Permanent Secretary of Finance, Filimoni Wangambada, signed an MOU with the Fiji Commerce Commission and Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority to share information.
The challenge really for the task force is to make sure that where the clear demarcation of concessions and the final price. Whilst all the documentation comes in, that will really help us, together with the Commerce Commission, to exactly nail down on the price that's in terms of dollar to dollar kind of thing. That's what we really want.
Tikolevu says concessions in 2013 were over $300 million, and in good faith it must trickle down to everyday Fijians. An idea to help rural women save money on cooking is also going to help reduce the effects of climate change in the future. A rocket stove which saves on firewood and kerosene is now being piloted in a rural community in Nausori. Ritika Pratap reports.
22 women of Nilgiri Mothers Club in Sawani, Nausori underwent a training on how to build these green rocket stoves. Low-income households can save up to $520 on kerosene and $600 on gas every year.
Using firewood rather than kerosene, and very little firewood. It has been designed in such a way that it will use very little firewood for maximum heat. And this is why it's called the rocket stove.
Ravulo Naulumatua, who worked closely with USP to design the stove, says it will also use 50% less firewood compared to open fire cooking. The project, apart from helping save money, will also help fight climate change.
As you can see, our coastal areas, the firewood are becoming eroded because of the rising sea level. So their area of firewood collection is reducing. This is evident in most coastal villages.
The stove is made of heat-resistant concrete and is built to last.
Durability can exceed 10 years because this is a very powerful concrete mix. This is not an ordinary concrete mix. That is what makes this stove, the green one, unique.
Naulumatua says one stove can save 35 trees a year. Women will spend less time collecting firewood. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A 23-year-old man from Tailevu has been sentenced to 17 years imprisonment for rape and burglary. In 2011, Ise Korondrao broke into an apartment, grabbed the kitchen knife, threatened the victim, and took over $500, electronic items and jewelry. Korondrao then raped the woman before fleeing. Judge Justice Salesi Temo said he showed no mercy on the victim and he was a coward preying on the defenseless. A 21-year-old farmer of Mbua has been sentenced to 9 years imprisonment for raping a 5-year-old girl. He was found guilty for 1 count of digital rape by the Lambasa High Court. The incident happened on 20th August in 2012 when the man went to buy copra from the victim's village. High Court Judge Justice Daniel Gaunda, in sentencing the man, said the primary purpose of the decision is to deter him and others from committing sexual offences against children. Gaunda says the man took advantage of the fact that the victim was alone at home. The Ministry of Health says it will increase awareness on adolescent pregnancy to address the country's health population. The Women's Wellness Centre at Suva's CWM Hospital today organised an open day to encourage cervical cancer screening and family planning counselling for all women. The services at health facilities and nursing stations around Fiji are intended to empower young women and prevent unplanned pregnancies and unsafe abortions. The Uttar Pradesh state government in India is willing to help people interested to know about their roots in India. UP State Minister Madhukar Jetley says they will soon launch a website to help connect the people of Fiji and gather information about their ancestral background. Jetley, who is in New Zealand attending the Indian-New Zealand Business Council meeting, made the comments to New Zealand-based Radio Tarana. Many Indians who came to Fiji in the Gurmat era were believed to be from the Uttar Pradesh state. That time again, Jamie joins you now with Friday Night Sports.
Thanks, Jackie, and good evening. Tonight in sports, Commonwealth team present Itatau to President Epeli Nailatikau, and first-timers to the Southern Zone Rugby Finals, John Wesley College hope to finish off a good season with a win against Mars Brothers High School tomorrow. Details after the break.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Bak.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottled cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Team Fiji presented its Itatau to the President Ratu Epeli Nailatikau this afternoon before departing for the Commonwealth Games in Scotland. The majority of the athletes in the 29-member contingent will be making their debut in the Games, but this will not deter them from trying to make their mark against elite athletes. Tsale Ndadakadaka reports.
Here's my baby.
A lot will be riding on Team Fiji at the upcoming Commonwealth Games. Most of these athletes are first-timers to the Games, but for overseas-based reps like swimmer William Clark, the aim is to have strong determination to win the gold.
Since studying in the States, we've been to a lot more competitions and had a lot more experience, so it's all in preparation and training, so we just know ourselves that we're ready for the competition, and like when we go to the competition, we should just be, like our main focus is just swim, just hop in the pool and swim.
Young weightlifter Seruaya Malani is looking to make the most out of the experience, which will carry a lot of weight for her career.
It's gonna be tough. It's my first Commonwealth. It's for me. It's I'll be going there and see the big lifters. I'm gonna watch them and follow how their techniques are.
The athletes will leave in 3 batches, with the first lot to depart for Glasgow on Monday. Talento Dakadak, FBC Sports.
The John Wesley College Under-18 rugby side is looking to create history in the Southern Zone Finals against Mars Brothers High School tomorrow. The Raiwanga Bay School is featuring in its first Southern Zone Finals and will be looking for a win to cap off a memorable season. Talento Dakadak has more.
Lacing up for what will be a David and Goliath battle, the John Wesley College side is preparing for a tough encounter against a giant Maris Brothers High School pack.
Currently, at the moment, the strength is there, the team as a whole, for the forwards and also the back line. And, but comparing it with Maris, they have the strength up front in the forward, but the boys are also expecting to meet them up front.
Some fiery encounters are expected in the finals of the various grades tomorrow. John Wesley College is looking to make its first finals appearance a memorable one.
I'm happy on how our boys have performed during the season, and especially playing the quarterfinal last year in the national, and now coming out as the top team in the southern zone. Then I think the achievement was something good for the school.
A win for either team tomorrow will not only mean sweet victory, but also a better placing in the national quarterfinals in 2 weeks' time. Salendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
Suva is gearing up for a tough match against Ba this weekend as the two sides meet up in the Fiji Sun Skippertuna National Football League. Having lost its last encounter against the Men in Black, the side is going into the game wary of the Ba side, but with a long-term goal of qualifying for the OFC Champions League.
We have a lot of respect for Ba. If you see the last year's record, we haven't beaten them. And last we played was in October, it's almost 8 months now. We lost to them 1-0. So it will be really a tough game for us. Got a lot of respect for Ba team. And as you said, for the whole league, it's still a long way to go, but definitely we'll be aiming for that.
Suva will be without the services of defender Charlie Ndreloa, as well as inspirational captain Ravinesh Karan Singh, who received 2 yellow cards in Suva's last National League game.
Ravinesh, as you know, he had been scoring goals after Dundru left. He was the one who had scored more goals. And also setback is under-20 captain Charlie Ndreloa. He has good boil. He won't be able to play this week.
And the replacement for this players, you must have been thinking some replacement for this players who can cover up their position?
Yes, definitely. We got other players, so hopefully these players will click in this game against Ba.
The match kicks off at 3 p.m. on Sunday at the ANZ Stadium with live commentary on FBC's Radio Fiji 2 with Raymond Stoddart. Korea lost its opening match on its Fiji tour, going down to Fiji Board 11 at Albert Park today by an astounding 119 runs. The visitors won the toss and opted to bowl first, allowing the home side to run havoc against them. Joe Rika finished the match with 84 runs, while Giles Smith also passed a half-century, making 52 runs in the match. Korea will now play Cricket Fiji's junior high performance squad at 9 a.m. Sunday, which will be followed by a match against the Fiji A side. That was your sports for tonight. I'll join you again on Monday. Until then, have yourselves a safe weekend.
Fiji-based call center Mindpearl has won the 2014 European Outsourcing Association Offshoring Destination of the Year award. The company was given the accolade during a black tie gala event in London last night. Fiji has beaten destinations such as Portugal, South Africa and Morocco. General Manager Mindpearl Fiji Mark Mahoney says this award is the result of hard work by Fijians.
It kind of puts Fiji on the map now as a genuine contender in the outsourcing world. Now, there's a lot of highly competitive markets, as I mentioned. You know, India and the Philippines are the widely acclaimed ones, but lots of new destinations are coming along, and Fiji is one of those, and this puts Fiji on the map globally.
The call centre is based in the Colombo tax-free zone in Colombo Nasinu. Let's look at today's weather with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Looking at today's map, Suva and Savu had the same conditions with fine weather and cloudy skies all day long. Nandi, Lautoka, Ba, and also Lambasa had fine weather also all throughout the day. Today's temperatures will see Suva, Nandi, Suva on 27, Nandi on 29, Lautoka also on 29, Ba on 29, Lambasa 33, and Savu 26. Ba, Lambasa, Lautoka, Nandi, Savu will all have a cool 21 tonight. Forecast for Saturday, same conditions as today. Suva and Savu might have fine weather with cloudy skies all day. As for the rest of the centers, Nandi, Lautoka, Ba, and Lambasa should have fine weather all throughout the day. For mariners also, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. image of the day. Photo taken by Pranil Pal at the Natovi Jetty. And again, if you would like to send in pictures, send them in to citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping our top stories. Archbishop Emeritus Petero Matava has been laid to rest with his casket entombed beneath the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Suva. Fiji Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry has told a rally in Nasinu that it will form a coalition with SODELPA after elections, and Health Ministry commits to reducing teenage pregnancies around Fiji. To our poll question for this week, and we are asking, are you familiar with the voting process? Visit our FBC website, www.fbc.com.fj, to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. We're also on YouTube, FBC TV 2011, and Instagram, FBC TV. That's your news. This Friday night. Amrita Priyadashni joins you from tomorrow evening with the weekend news. The team and I will be back again on Monday. Until then, stay safe and have an enjoyable weekend. Ni Modamamba.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
Deke me lal khai me hi. Tangi tauwa me Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bo julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.